What's the matter?
You're wonderful.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most memorable stars that shared the screen playing romantic interests multiple times.
Thank you. Here, it's for you.
Me? Oh, Jimmy.
Number 20, Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson. The only daughter of Goldie Hawn, Hudson has proven to be a cinematic match for Texan heartthrob McConaughey. Their first collaboration, 2003's How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, received mixed reviews, with critics calling it silly and predictable. However, many agreed that the undeniable chemistry between McConaughey and Hudson elevated the story, and it remains a fan-favorite romantic flick to this day.
Take the lady's luggage back to her place. She has alternate transportation.
You call my bluff?
You bet I am.
5 years later, the pair would work together on Fool's Gold. Although this action comedy was not well received, it was nice to see the duo back together.
Marry me.
No! You haven't. Yes! I will.
Number 19, Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence. While both Cooper and Lawrence are renowned actors in their own right, their collabs are worth checking out. In 2012's Silver Linings Playbook, they portrayed two volatile, complex characters falling in love. Despite the fact that she was almost bypassed for the part, this performance earned Lawrence the Academy Award for Best Actress.
You love me?
Yeah, I do.
Two years later, she and Cooper reunited in Serena, playing a couple whose passionate relationship spirals into tragedy. Interestingly, Lawrence personally lobbied for Cooper to play her love interest, and even invited him to work with her on the film.
You said that I was enough for you.
You're enough for me.
Number 18, Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. This celebrated duo is known for their electrifying dynamic in films of the 1980s. Their first team-up came with Romancing the Stone, a swashbuckling adventure comedy that became a box office hit.
I couldn't stop thinking about you. I even read one of your books.
Then you know how they all end.
Douglas and Turner followed it up with the less successful sequel, The Jewel of the Nile. The pair also shared the screen in The War of the Roses, in which they played a couple whose marriage devolves into a bitter divorce. Decades later, they came back together for The Kominsky Method, bringing their memorable partnership full circle. Were they ever involved off-screen? Apparently not, but their connection certainly felt convincing.
Okay, well then I guess my hands are tied. You used to like that.
Mom!
You did.
Number 17, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. As one of Hollywood's original power couples, Kidman and Cruise shared the screen on a few noteworthy occasions. Their first major project together was Days of Thunder, in which they played a couple falling in love amid the high-speed world of stock car racing. In 1992's Far and Away, Cruise and Kidman reunited as Irish immigrants pursuing the American dream.
Why can't you say it, Shannon? Why can't you say you like my hat? Why can't you say you like my suit? I've earned this. I've done well.
Perhaps their most famous collaboration was in Stanley Kubrick's final movie, Eyes Wide Shut. This psychological drama delves into themes of desire, jealousy, and the hidden complexities within marriage. At the time of filming, Kidman and Cruise were married in real life, though they would divorce about 2 years later in 2001.
Grateful that we've managed to survive through all of our adventures.
Number 16, Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter.
Mrs. Lovett, what a charming notion.
Well,
Eminently
it does
practical
seem
and yet
a wise-
appropriate as always. Mrs. Lovett, how I've lived without you all these years, I'll never know.
If you've delved into the eerie world of Tim Burton, you've likely seen Depp and Bonham Carter side by side at least once. Carter, who was in a relationship with Burton for 13 years, appeared in many of his films, no fewer than 5 of them alongside Depp. They played opposite each other in both Corpse Bride and Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. In the former, Depp's character is caught between his fiancée and the titular character, who is brought to life, so to speak, by Bonham Carter.
I was a bride. My dreams were taken from me. Well, now I've stolen them from someone else.
Meanwhile, in the film adaptation of Stephen Sondheim's hit musical, their characters make for an eccentric and unconventional duo, blending macabre with whimsy. Number 15. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
It's not a 1 to 10 scenario. It's a basic question. How often do you have sex?
Nicknamed Brangelina, Jolie and Pitt were widely considered one of Hollywood's most iconic pairs, and it wasn't just because of their years-long relationship and 6 children. They first starred together in 2005's Mr. and Mrs. Smith as married assassins tasked with killing each other. About a decade later, Jolie wrote, directed, and starred in By the Sea, with Pitt being cast as her love interest. They even shot the romantic drama while on their honeymoon. However, the pair has since split up. Jolie has also claimed that Pitt was abusive in legal documents.
They said they were going to try and fight past it. They're going through something horrible could even make them stronger.
Number 14. Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. Hawn and Russell are not only a beloved real-life pair, but a favorite on-screen duo as well. In Swing Shift, Hawn stars as Kay, a woman who joins the workforce while her husband is away at war. Russell portrays Lucky, a charming musician with whom she begins an affair.
I called McBride's this morning and quit. I'm leaving.
Russell and Hawn also appeared together in the 1987 romantic comedy Overboard, wherein she plays a spoiled socialite with amnesia, and he a carpenter who convinces her she's his wife. Years into the future, they'd pop up as Santa and Mrs. Claus in the Christmas Chronicles films.
Oh, Christmas tree, much pleasure do you bring me.
Number 13. Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore.
Give you my coat when you are cold. Need you, read you, even let you hold the remote control.
3 movies, 3 decades, 2 really good friends. Since working together on The Wedding Singer in the 90s, Sandler and Barrymore have gotten back together to film 1 movie every decade, and even sang about it on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon.
Every 10 years, you'll always have me.
There has never been a romantic connection off-screen between the two, but Sandler's wife does say she loves Drew, and that's probably why they continue to work together and stay such good friends. It's almost surprising that they've only made 3 movies together, while Sandler has also demonstrated some fine chemistry with Jennifer Aniston in a few films. The Barrymore-Sandler combo can't be beat.
You deserve a nice massage.
Oh, it's good. Oh, it hurts so good.
Number 12. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone. With all the fuss over La La Land, the 2016 Oscar-winning film starring Gosling and Stone in the lead roles, it's easy to forget that this wasn't the first time the young actors played a couple. In fact, La La Land was actually the 3rd time Gosling and Stone starred opposite one another since 2010.
Still find me attractive?
Yes.
Still want to take me home?
Yeah.
Let's go.
The first film was a comedy, the second a thriller, and the third a musical, proving not only that the pair has good chemistry, but also that they are both extremely versatile as actors. Chances are, La La Land won't be the last time we'll see them work together either.
Good jazz there. And you love jazz now. Right?
Yes.
Number 11. Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet.
Why'd you do that, huh? You're so stupid, Rose. Why did you do that? Why?
You jump high, jump right.
Jack and Rose's tragic romance in Titanic is far too memorable for their actors to ever work alongside each other playing love interests again, right? Wrong. In 2008, over 10 years after Titanic's release, the two teamed up again, playing a couple in the critically acclaimed film Revolutionary Road, proving that casting these two together is a good idea.
So now I'm crazy.
crazy because I don't love you, right? Is that the point?
No, wrong! You're not crazy, and you do love me. That's the point, April.
The only thing perhaps better than their performances is Kate and Leo's real-life friendship and the tremendous support they show for each other's careers. Number 10. John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. This iconic Western star and red-headed Irish rose appeared together in an astonishing 5 films in a little over 2 decades. That has to be some kind of record, no? Wayne and O'Hara first played opposite each other in 1950's Rio Grande as a lieutenant colonel and his estranged wife.
I suppose the safest way for us to start our conversation would be for you to just say, to what do I owe the honor of your visit?
I saw the reason for your visit this morning.
Their subsequent collaborations include The Quiet Man, The Wings of Eagles, McClintock, and Big Jake. As you can probably surmise, most of these projects are westerns. O'Hara and Wayne demonstrated a fiery, compelling dynamic, which served to cement them as one of old Hollywood's most prolific and celebrated movie couples.
Don't want me to take this box in?
Yes. If they fail, it falls to you.
Number 9. Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. After starring alongside each other in 2 huge romantic classics, Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail, these two just have to accept that their names will forever be linked together.
How about some coffee or, drinks or dinner or a movie? For as long as we both shall live.
Still, most people don't even realize that they played a couple in not just 2, but 3 films. The first being Joe vs. the Volcano, which was released years before Sleepless in Seattle.
I'll tell you one thing, though.
What?
Wherever we go, whatever we do, we're gonna take this luggage with us.
Deal.
Tom even had a brief on-screen reunion with Meg in Ithaca, a film she directed and cameoed in 2015. Number 8. Richard Gere and Julia Roberts. The 90s began and ended with films starring these two, with Pretty Woman coming out in 1990, and their second film, Runaway Bride, arriving in 1999 to bookend the decade. Of course, everyone knows the former rom-com classic for Roberts' portrayal of a sex worker with a heart of gold. But what also made the film what it was the blend of Gere's serious attitude with Julia's lightheartedness.
So what happened after? He climbed up the tower and rescued her.
She rescues him right back.
It's no wonder they tried duplicating the success of the first film with the second. Though they haven't made a movie together in years, there's always the chance, as the two remain close friends.
I love you, Homer Eisenhower Graham. Will you marry me?
Number 7. William Powell and Myrna Loy. Powell and Loy make up another movie power couple from the golden age of Hollywood. Their first pairing was in 1934's Manhattan Melodrama.
Good night.
No good night kiss. Well, that proves something. I've been asleep all night and you're just something I dreamed about.
You have these nightmares often?
From there, they'd go on to appear together in an impressive 14 films, such as Evelyn Prentice, The Great Ziegfeld, and Libeled Lady. But it was the Thin Man series that Loy and Powell truly won hearts. Here, they portrayed Nick and Nora Charles, a wealthy couple enjoyed by moviegoers for their mystery-solving adventures and razor-sharp banter. Unsurprisingly, people began to speculate whether the real-life Nick and Nora were a couple off-screen, but Loy confirmed that she and Powell were simply good friends. Could have fooled us.
For valor.
Oh, Nicky. Is this one for keeps?
So's this one.
Number 6. Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor. It was rumored that Burton didn't much like Elizabeth Taylor when they first met on the set of Cleopatra. Things obviously quickly changed because not only did they go on to make 10 more movies together, but they also tied the knot in real life, twice.
You filled my life. Like a great noise that I hear everywhere in my heart. I want to be free of you. Of wanting you.
When they first got together, they were both already married to other people, so they divorced them and married each other soon after. But then they eventually divorced themselves, only to get hitched again a year later. And then they got divorced again. Okay, so their relationship might not have worked out, but at least we got some movies out of it.
Doing more together? If I can con him into it.
If she asks me, I don't know.
What would you like to do together? You've done several.
I think we're a bit old for Romeo and Juliet.
Number 5. Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Humphrey Bogart was known as somewhat of a ladies' man. He was married not once, not twice, but 3 times by the time he'd met Lauren Bacall while filming their first movie together. Even though he was 25 years her senior, the two began a relationship that was more than just professional.
Sometimes I know exactly what you're going to say. Most of the time. The other times... you're just a stinker.
Bogart filed for divorce from his then-wife Mayo Metho and married Bacall in February of 1945, the year they made their second film, The Big Sleep. They remained married until Bogart's death in 1957 and made 2 more movies together along the way.
I was so mad about him that I was like a fool. I was an idiot, and he was more than I ever thought I would ever have.
Number 4. Woody Allen and Mia Farrow. Between the years of 1982 and 1992, Mia Farrow starred in 13 of Allen's films, which probably had something to do with the fact that the two had been in a relationship since the late 70s, early 80s.
I'm so humiliated, I don't know what to say.
Could you have ruined yourself somehow?
How could I ruin myself?
Meanwhile, the end of their cinematic partnership coincided with their controversial breakup. This wasn't the first time Allen dated a co-star. He and another frequent collaborator, Diane Keaton, were so briefly involved, but it was definitely the most scandalous. Because although Mia and Woody made a good on-screen couple, the latter felt that there was more chemistry between himself and Farrow's adopted daughter Soon Yi, who he not only left Farrow for, but would go on to marry instead.
I regret the day I met him. And in the middle of the night, I wake up and feel guilty for bringing him into my family.
Number 3. Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland. From what we understand, being a kid on the MGM set wasn't always a walk in the park. However, Garland and Rooney emerged from the experience not only with a lifelong friendship, but also with roles in several musical classics. They co-starred in many films, beginning with Thoroughbreds Don't Cry in 1937.
Gotta get feet going, I got a pair of new shoes and I'm going to ride.
Naturally, they often played romantic leads. The duo notably worked together in Andy Hardy movies, Babes in Arms, Babes on Broadway, and Strike Up the Band. For many years, Rooney and Garland were the darlings of the cinematic world, and their contributions have left a lasting legacy in Hollywood history.
But after the tears, our love will smile through.
Number 2. Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. Lauren Bacall's good friend, Katharine Hepburn, was yet another actress who fell in love on set. She and Spencer Tracy acted together in 9 films.
I love you, Sam. Will you marry me?
You mean love, honor, cherish, and obey until death do us part?
Though he was only estranged and never officially divorced from his wife, that didn't stop him and Katharine from also pursuing a relationship outside of work, one that lasted over 26 years until Tracy's death in 1967. While they never had children or married, in the years after his death, Hepburn stated she was happy just being with him.
And if it's half of what we felt, that's everything.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Here are 2 names that cannot be said without thinking of the other. The famous duo was never romantically involved, but their on-screen career together lasted over 15 years, so it's no wonder people can't help but think of them as a couple.
Look, here comes Julio.
Gosh, that gal don't care who she gets thrown out of what.
Both Fred and Ginger began their dancing and acting careers as solo artists, but after appearing in Flying Down to Rio together, they were seldom apart. In fact, their next joint film saw them in lead roles. Throughout their career, they each worked on solo projects as well, but never quite experienced the same amount of popularity alone that they had over the course of 9 films together.
I'm sorry to ask you to do this, but will you kiss me?
I'm not sorry.
Bravo, bravissimo!
Which of these star couples do you think has the strongest chemistry? Let's talk about it in the comments.
I wanna go with Drewy. Thank you!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.